Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Meadow. And we are here with our mama lynx getting ready for a day of exploring and searching for the bits and pieces of the puzzle that we are going to need to be able to become a fox. And it has been a very long time since we have been in Meadow, but today I was just really feeling that need to sort of slow down and have a little bit of time to meet with you guys and talk with you guys. Oh, and we just got a new skin for our mama lynx. That's so fun. Let's go ahead and change into it. Oh, she looks so pretty. Oh, that's so awesome. I love her ears too. Let's see if we can find any baby lynxes out there in the world, the other players possibly playing as baby lynx, that we can go and meet up with. So let's see, let's back up a little bit and review the area. I don't see anybody, but hopefully we can find the bits and pieces of the pattern that we need to become a fox. So we're still several pieces of the animal puzzle pieces away from being able to become a fox, and we need to get a new skin. I don't think we have any new emotes, though right now, until the January update, there is actually something pretty special in the Meadow. If you guys want to come in and play with a little bit of snow, you can now make it snow. Isn't that absolutely precious? I love it. Oh, that's so cute. Mama Lynx, look at you. It's snowing right above your head. She is so pretty. But yes, so some of you guys know that today is kind of a sad day for me since something sad happened. I talked about it on Twitter. I don't really want to dwell on it too much here because this is the beautiful Meadow, but I just thought, you know what? I want to unwind, I want to relax, and I just want to spend some time with you guys while we roam this beautiful world collecting flowers of all things. And that just can't be more... Ah, there! We've got a little branch right there. That just can't be, gotcha, any better for me than it gets. Being able to run around with this gorgeous, gorgeous world and spend my days collecting flowers. I love the Meadow. But let's see if we can find where some of the other people are in the Meadow. And let's see, how do I find where they're hiding again? Aha! So it seems like we've got some people this direction. So we'll start heading over there. And I do want to try to head... Oh, I just got a flower without meaning to. That's so cool. And I do want to try to find the snowy world again. So the snowy part of the world where it's just the winter woods once more. It's very, very pretty over there. And I do want to try to get up to 9,000 essence. Because once you get up to 9,000 essence, rumor has it that there's a new animation of waving that you can do. Oh, look, and there's some more. There's some more of the beautiful flowers. So we'll collect some of those. Oh, and I see some over there too. And I'll have to run around and snag flowers, and then we'll start searching for some people to be able to run with too. But yeah, I mean, not to dwell on it too much, but something very sad happened today, and there's a really weird thing that happens in my life as I have gotten older and as I have worked really, really, really hard to actively cultivate joy in my life. Every time something seems to kick me in the teeth and knock me down and break my heart, it used to be that I just couldn't handle it and I would curl up in a little ball and cry my eyes out, as most people probably do, and just feel totally overwhelmed and numb and out of control. And then this really weird thing happened as I got older, and especially as I started creating adventures to share with you guys on YouTube. And it became something where every time something really sad or bad would happen in my life, I would just have this immense, overwhelming desire to create and to work through the pain by trying to make something beautiful to share with others. And it has never really let me down. And so here I am again, and I'm kind of amazed. We need another person here. I need to see if we can find some of the other people to run with. What's the nearest group? It seems like the nearest group is over this direction. So, that's a big group too. So we'll go try to meet up with them. Maybe we can guide them back over to our runestone. But I know I've talked about that a ton in our Meadow videos too. But it's so amazing because here I am again, and my heart is broken over the things that happened today, but I feel like I can have a clear head. And that's what I was going to say. It's kind of amazing because it's like I'm sitting here and it hurts and the loss is very real and the grief is very real. But instead of curling up broken and exhausted and terrified and sad like I used to years ago in my early 20s, when I was a teenager, when I was much younger, of course, and feeling helpless and like the world was just a tragic place. Instead, for some reason, I'm just sitting around wanting to comfort my loved ones. And then instead of that feeling of being crushed and brokenhearted inside of me, even though there's very real grief and there's very real sorrow for my loss, I just have this overwhelming urge to participate in the beauty of life, to live as fully as possible, to live as happily as possible. That's kind of what's catching me up right now. And instead of feeling overwhelmed with sorrow, I wanted to be here. I wanted to be in a world full of flowers and greenery, because somehow the sadder the events are that happen to me, the harder I seem to almost leap back up. I almost feel like a knight in shining armor in a way, where these really tragic and sad things happen, and then I acknowledge them and you don't deny them. But instead of being crushed by them, I kind of want to like stand up with a blade of joy, if you'll allow me to use that metaphor, and tell my family, this hurts, and we acknowledge this hurt, and we can accept this hurt. But no matter, it's like as deep as the pain is, that's how strong I want the joy to be. It's like the deeper the wounds cut, the more I want to make the happiness shine and the joy shine and balance it all out. I guess in a way you could say the shadows require light to be cast, and the light usually creates shadows. So the deeper you feel one emotion, the deeper you can probably feel the other. And a lot of that probably doesn't make any sense to you guys, but maybe for some of you, it'll help just to see somebody who doesn't give up when you're hurt and brokenhearted. And to know that there's something I've found, at least in my life, that totally heals that. And that's working around the pain, acknowledging the grief, and going, this world is still a beautiful place. It has its dark spots and it has its beauty. And I want to share that beauty with people. So here I am, looking for people to share the beauty with. I appear to have misjudged where that group was. Not a lot of people today. That's just fine. But let's see if we can line up. It looks like they are in the autumn forest. So we'll see if we can line up with them and maybe catch up with them behind what appears to be a mountain and or a volcano. So we'll have to see. But anyway, that's my ramble in Meadow today. And I just, it feels really weird. I feel like I should be a lot more crushed than I am, because historically in my life experience, oh, look, we found one of the beautiful flowers. Oh, I love these. Oh, they're so pretty. But historically, I have been crushed by these super sad moments in life. And I am still hurting, but I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It is possible to have grief in your heart and to also have joy at the same time. And I think that it's actually essential to keep the two kind of knitted together and strong within you. Not always, but just if you have grief, try to bring joy in too. It creates a sense of balance. And I think what I'm really, really trying to say is, when you have the permanent losses, when someone is not ever going to be coming back, or when an opportunity in your life or a phase of your life is not ever coming back, you're caught up short. I think all of us have this idea in our heads that the opportunities will always be there to continue the story, like a book that you pick up again. I think we all have somewhere in our mind the idea that, oh, I'm not doing the thing I really, really desperately wanted to do right now, but I'll have time in the future. We always think we have more time to talk to that person, to work on that project, to pursue that thing, that goal, that dream that we have been thinking of doing for so long. And the reality of it is, we don't have as much time as we think. Maybe personally, maybe that person that we wanted to be with didn't have as much time. Maybe that thing we're putting off, that project, that dream that we wanted to achieve, actually had a expiration date and we just didn't know it. And when you reach those moments of now it's over and now you don't have another opportunity, now you don't have another chance, I have yet to find myself going, oh, I saw this coming. Every single time it catches me off guard. And every single time I feel so perplexed and bewildered. Oh my goodness, I didn't know the world went on this far. This is beautiful here. But every single time, without fail, in almost 30 years of life, I always feel perplexed and confused at the fact that my time is up. What do you mean I didn't have more time to do that assignment in school? What do you mean I didn't have more time with this friendship before it just broke apart? What do you mean I didn't have more time with this family member before they died? What do you mean I didn't have more time on this project before the opportunities to really cultivate it in my life disappeared? I'm always caught up short because I think I comfort myself in my procrastination by going, I'll have more time. I'm sure I'll have more time. And so you put things off. You procrastinate on them because you just gently think, I'll have more time all the time, because that's the safe answer. The scary, hard answer is I have to become stronger than I am right now. I have to work harder than I am right now. I have to confront the things that I'm nervous about right now, because there won't be time to do it in the future. That's the hard answer. That's the scary answer. That is the reason that I procrastinate on so many things. That is the reason I have watched beautiful friendships fade away, because I would have more time next time. I'll make more time later. That's the safe answer, to try to confront how anxious I feel going out and meeting with people. I'll make more time to go and look at that place that I want to visit before we move away. I'll make more time to learn that language that I want to learn so that I can travel the country. I'll have time in the future to go traveling eventually. Those are the safe, comfortable answers for a very shy procrastinator who is timid and who runs away from pretty much all confrontation. And that is me. And here I am, having run out of time for someone who could have been a lot in my life and who has historically been a lot in my life. And now I'm out of time. And I'll never get that time back. And in there, right tucked up with the grief inside of my heart, is the very mature adult acknowledgement that this is my own fault. The feeling of not having used my time wisely and having run out of time. And I'm not bitter about that. I feel like I owe it to myself to have some really deep, long conversations about what that means. But you can run out of time. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. And not to scare you, not to stress you, but to remind you to do it now. To try making that painting that you're so scared about attempting because it's probably going to suck and you don't want to use up the paint. To try out that new game. To say hello to that person. To swallow the pain and forgive the person who you don't really want to. To be able to confront your dream of at least attempting a certain job. Those are all really hard things to do. I will not deny that. And oh, look at that. We got another piece of maybe an emote. I really want more pieces of the fox. So I'm not saying it's easy. And all I can really hope is just to stand here and tell you guys, hey, I ran out of time on somebody and something very important and very special. And I know myself perfectly well enough to know that's my own fault. Because I thought I'd have more time. I really did. But remember what I said at the beginning? How the more I get kicked in the teeth sometimes, the more I just want to pop back up, spring back up, almost like one of those little punchy bags that you can punch and it just springs back into place because it has sand in the bottom. That's what I feel like. And I come back up with a little sword of joy and I look around myself and I go, okay, life can really be dark sometimes. That's just the reality of it. Aw, man, like when you don't have any friends to help you crack this thing open. And it's just the nature of life, to have life and death and loss and strength and gains all wrapped together. Grief and joy all wrapped together. But the more I hurt as I've gotten older, the more important I realize it is to actively pursue your happiness and actively pursue joy. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I had already been playing around with those ideas. The realization that I put off even happy things, because even happy things require a level of confrontation that a very shy person like myself dislikes. Even happy things require the risk of maybe the happy thing is safer just inside of your head, instead of actually attempting to do the happy thing, because what if you fail at the happy thing, and then the happy thing that you were hoping for ends up falling flat on its face? So yes, I'm sure many of you guys identify with that. Putting off things that bring you joy and happiness because you're worried that maybe it won't actually play out the way you have it in your head. So instead of going ahead and trying to go on that camping trip or trying to say hello to that person that you have a crush on, you just put it off forever and ever and ever and ever, because that seems like the safer option. And I do that a lot. I put off the happy things in my life. Reading a book. I will keep books on my bookshelf for months at a time rather than actually going ahead and reading them, because what happens when I'm done with the book? Somehow I convince myself that the anticipation of joy is a safer bet than actually participating in joy itself. And here I am, having run out of time. So, what am I going to do? Well, my friends, this year is going to be something pretty special. I already had the idea. I already had the knowledge that it probably would be, because I have made promises to my beloved Chips. He has watched me put off things that I have wanted to get, put off things that I have wanted to do for ages and ages and ages, because maybe I needed to save a little bit more money, or, maybe one day I'll do that thing I'm always talking about wanting to do. We'll go travel and see the redwoods one day when, I feel like the time is right, because maybe for some weird reason, I just don't feel like I should go yet. And then I realize it's because I'm procrastinating, because what happens if I go and I didn't enjoy it as much? Or also equally scary, what happens when I do the thing I look forward to and then it's done? And what do I have to look forward to afterward? So you put things off because it's comfortable, it's non-confrontational, it lets you just continue forward in your little bubble, and it lets you live this beautiful illusion that every day can continue on the same as the day before. And even if that keeps you away from some of the dreams that you really have, there's such a beautiful sense of safety in going, oh, that's okay, life isn't going to change too much on me. And I'm sure many of you, as we often talk about in our Meadow videos, have experienced that. Sometimes you avoid the things that you know will bring you joy simply because not changing things is such a safe place to live, such a safe place to be. So here I am, having run out of time, and been given the exceptionally real and painful reminder that you run out of time for joy. You run out of time to make mistakes. You run out of time to even try. And so this year, even though I am nervous and scared and I don't know how I will be able to do this, this year is going to be the year of adventure and discovery. This year, I am finally going to listen when my beloved Chips stares at me in utter perplexity and goes, but why don't we go see the redwoods? Why don't we just make that a thing that we do? Why don't we make that investment in our own joy? And we're going to go do it. And I'm going to travel a ton. I'm going to go and explore this world like I want to. I'm going to bring those dreams that I've had for so long actually to life, because they're so comfortable and they're so nice to just gently keep in the back of my mind as something to do one day. But I will one day run out of time. The more I put it off and the more I procrastinate on actually doing the things I want, the more I can try to pretend that life doesn't change, that the world doesn't change, that my life can stay more or less the same. And that's very comforting, because it's not as scary as what happens when your life changes. But the reality is my life is always changing. Time is passing on all of the things I want to do, all of the things I want to participate in, all of the things I want to see, all of the people I want to be with, all of the things I want to become. I can give myself the illusion that I'll have time, but I don't. And that's okay, not in a depressed way, just I need to do it. I just need to do the things that make me happy and not put it off because I'm nervous about it, or because maybe they exist better as dreams and ideas than reality. And I hope that can help some of you guys. I ran out of time. I ran out of time for somebody I loved and probably could have developed a better relationship with and probably could have loved more. Somebody who I could have maybe learned from more, and they could have learned more about me. And there's that weird little part of myself yet again that is sad about that, but somehow I am just even more determined than ever to not put off and not run out of time on the things that make me happy and bring me and those I love joy. So I hope this ramble was useful to some of you and well-timed for some of you. I needed to get it out because there's nothing like grief to make you feel like you suddenly learned a very hard and bitter lesson. And yay, we just bumped into a big group and we were close enough, yay, that we got to participate in snagging a wonderful piece of the puzzle. And I hope you are all going to have a wonderful time. And I hope the weird little random rambly lesson that I tried to offer up today helps you and can maybe prompt you to just do the thing that makes you happy. Please do the thing that makes you happy. Because whether we like to admit it or not, we do run out of time on those things in subtle ways and serious ways and silly ways. We do run out of time, and that's not meant to depress you. That's just meant to remind you that there's no reason to hold yourself back from joy. There's no reason to hold yourself back from the thing you know is going to make you happy just because you're scared of moving forward. So I'm going to maybe follow that awesome little group around for a while longer. And then I may go lay down and I may go do some serious thinking about the adventures that I want to get into this year with Chips. I don't want to hold back on wrapping my arms around the beautiful, joyful things in life any longer than I have to, any longer than practicality requires. As long as I can practically go on those adventures and I can practically do the things that I know would bring me happiness, I just want to do them. I don't want to hold myself back from that anymore because I think I have to earn them, or I don't feel like I deserve them, or I feel like I should put them off and focus on other things because maybe myself shouldn't be at the top of the list, because I don't want to have any regrets. So I hope you guys will find those things that make you happy too. All right. And I really, 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 really from the bottom of my heart hope that you guys can pursue that joy. So enough of my deep rambling, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.